Imagine the roar of a collapsing temple, the earth-shattering crack of stone and timber echoing across the valley, thousands screaming as their gods crumble around them, all because of one man, his strength, his folly, and his ultimate vengeful sacrifice. How does a hero sworn to divine power fall to a mere haircut? This is Divine War Stories, where we unearth the most epic battles, the profound betrayals, and the legendary conflicts from ancient scriptures. Prepare to witness tales of divine power, human weakness, and the wars that shaped history and faith. And today, we delve into the tragic saga of Samson. To understand the tragedy of Samson, we must first understand his birth and his burden. He was a Nazirite, bound to the divine before his first breath. This vow, specifically the rule that forbade a razor from touching his head, was the conduit for his unimaginable strength. He was not a conventional soldier, but an absolute weapon forged by the heavens to combat the tyranny of the Philistines. His warfare was chaotic and personal. He tore a lion apart with his bare hands. He used 300 foxes and fire to destroy the Philistine harvests. His most infamous act was using the jawbone of a donkey to slaughter 1,000 enemy soldiers, proving that his strength was a direct extension of divine fury, not mere muscle. But the greatest battles are rarely fought on the field. Samson's true vulnerability was his heart. His sacred mission was repeatedly derailed by his uncontrollable desire for Philistine women, a critical weakness that his enemies quickly observed and strategically exploited. This desire was his Achilles' heel, a catastrophic flaw he could not or would not control. Enter Delilah. She was not a love interest, but a lethal assassin of the spirit, hired by the Philistine lords for an astronomical sum to extract the secret of his strength. Her mission was simple: break the world's strongest man through relentless psychological warfare and manipulation. 3 times Samson lied, revealing false secrets, while the lords waited nearby. But 3 times the pressure mounted. Each lie was an erosion of his sacred vow. The persistence of Delilah became a suffocating emotional siege designed to break his will, proving that silence and tears were more effective than swords.
Finally, exhausted and weary, Samson confessed the forbidden secret. His strength was tied to the 7 locks of his uncut hair. In that moment of fatal confession, the divine war was lost, not by an army, but by a whisper. The only thing they needed was his own permission.
While he slept trustingly in her lap, the razor did its silent work. He awoke to a terrifying realization: the power was gone. Captured, blinded with hot iron, and chained, the symbol of Israel's liberation was reduced to a pathetic, grinding slave in a Philistine prison.
The humiliation was absolute. The man who had mocked and terrorized the Philistines was now their trophy, forced to grind grain like an animal for their entertainment. This was his lowest point, a time of profound darkness and reflection. But in that darkness, something unnoticed began to change. His hair slowly began to grow. With a roar that encompassed all his pain, regret, and divine fury, he pushed the central pillars. The massive structure collapsed with a cataclysmic sound. Samson destroyed more Philistines in his death than in his entire life, sealing his legend as the ultimate warrior whose greatest victory was achieved through his ultimate sacrifice. With a roar that encompassed all his pain, regret, and divine fury, he pushed the central pillars. The massive structure collapsed with a cataclysmic sound. Samson destroyed more Philistines in his death than in his entire life, sealing his legend as the ultimate warrior whose greatest victory was achieved through his ultimate sacrifice. The story of Samson is a testament to both divine purpose and devastating human failure. But the conflicts don't end here. Which biblical hero fought the greatest internal war? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep watching the dramatic Divine War stories, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for our next epic saga.